What up, and welcome to Proper Form, Prosperous Form, Chapter 5. In Chapter 5, we are going to go over breathing. In 4, we went over form, but what coincides with form is breathing. If your clients are not breathing properly, they will run into the risk of hurting themselves, and that runs into the risk of, once again, you getting sued or you losing clients. And we do not want any of that. So we're diving into breathing hard. Why is teaching your clients how to breathe properly during training so important? It helps to reduce the risk of injury. So it helps reduce injury right away. When clients are holding their breath, there is a list of injuries that could happen. They could faint. They could have blood vessels in the eye break. They can have blood vessels in a lot of different places break. They could slip a disc. They could herniate a disc. They could herniate in the front of their abdomen. They could hurt their low back. They could hurt their knees. They could have an aneurysm. There could be a million different things that could happen when it comes to holding your breath, and not a lot of them are ever positive. So it helps reduce the risk when you teach your clients how to properly breathe. And it increases performance as well. When you are holding your breath, you are not performing at your optimum level. For instance, if you have somebody sprint and they're breathing, they're probably a good sprint time because their body is relaxed. They're getting the oxygen in their body. The blood is flowing. When the blood is flowing, the muscles are working correctly. When the muscles are working correctly, they go into a longer state of usage, and you probably will have a good sprint. If you hold your breath and sprint, I guarantee you that your sprint will not be as good as when you were breathing. Now, why would you lift weights knowing that and hold your breath? If optimum performance comes with breathing, don't lift weights and ever hold your breath because you're just going to hurt yourself. It took my ass getting kicked to understand the importance of proper breathing. Let me elaborate. So when I played college football, I was this big, bad athlete. I was 215 pounds. I played safety. I was fast. I was strong. All that good stuff. But I played football predominantly my whole life. Football was easy. It was second nature. So I knew how to breathe while playing football. In my young 20s, I got hurt, couldn't play football anymore, got my degree, graduated college, got into boxing. While getting into boxing, the first couple weeks, they set me up to where I was sparring. I was 215 pounds, rock solid, strong. They put me in the ring with a 175-pound professional fighter. 175 pounds to me at that stage was very light in the ass. And me being a guy who's been in enough street fights to feel comfortable, I thought, man, with that type of weight difference, I'm going to kick the shit out of this guy. Not knowing that this is not a street fight. This is boxing, and this is a sweet science that if you don't understand it, you're going to get your ass whooped. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. When I went in there, one round goes by. By the time I'm sitting down, I am convinced I am having a heart attack because I was super tense. I was not breathing when I was supposed to, and I was getting beat up and starting to have panic attacks. Learning how to breathe would save me in that instance. I did not know how to breathe. So I made it all of 2.5 rounds before I just hit the ground, had no more energy in my system, and couldn't do shit. 2.5 rounds in boxing is not even a full amateur fight. So just to let you know, not good performance. If I knew how to breathe, I bet you I would have lasted a lot longer than that, but I did not. Fast forward, 2 months later, I'm practicing and training every day. I'm sparring. I feel more and more comfortable. I know how to breathe. Me and the same guy spar. Outcome was a little different. I did a lot better. I made it more rounds, and it was strictly based on knowing how to breathe, relaxing, feeling comfortable, and applying it. Lifting weights is the same exact thing. If you could go into it, feel comfortable and relaxed, and know how to apply it without any stresses going on in your body, then you'll be fine. And you'll last longer in your workouts, and you'll have better results. You'll have better PRs. You'll have better overall workouts. So breathing and learning how to breathe is so important. And I've dealt with it many times in my athletic career. So do not slip or sleep on teaching somebody how to properly breathe. The ramifications or of improper breathing during training. I've seen so many of these. I've seen people lift heavy weight. They do that Celtic old school shit where they take a big deep breath and hold it and lift. And more often than not, like I said, they'll pass out. They'll blow a blood vessel. Never anything good. They have a lot of headaches, a lot of bad shit happening in their brain. They have a lot of bad shit happening in their body. They get hernias. They hurt their back. Prime example is this. Take another outside example. More often than not, people that pass away in car accidents is the sober driver. The reason why that is a sober driver tenses up and tends to hold their breath. When they do that and the car hits, their muscles tighten up to the point where it breaks bones, they snap their neck, all these bad things end up happening. Counterpart, the drunk driver more often than not survives because they're so relaxed when they get hit, no injuries end up happening. Lifting weights, same exact thing. More often than not, the people that have major serious injuries tend to be a high percentage of people that hold their breath. People that tend to not be injured. People that breathe, that are very relaxed. So you need to go into it as a trainer, relaying that to your clients at all times. People will hold their breath no matter if they know it or not, and your job is to make sure you catch it and make sure you reiterate to them to breathe. It is okay to be annoying in this job. I would rather my client be annoyed and healthy than be happy and hurt. Because if they're annoyed and healthy and they're getting results, they're going to be happy overall and they're going to pay you. If they're not paying attention, they get hurt, they'll eventually be angry and they won't come back to you and they'll blasphemize your name and you're just hurting your brand. So teaching proper breathing is huge and key. Here is a simple cue when it comes to breathing. Big inhale, big exhale. When they're doing a sit-up, big inhale going down, big exhale coming up. When they're doing a deep squat, big inhale going down, big exhale coming up. When they're bench pressing, big inhale going down, big exhale coming up. You're catching the rhythm in which how it works. Going down, big inhale. Coming up, big exhale. There is not one proper way to breathe. What I mean by that is more often than not, people tell you to breathe in through the nose, breathe in out the mouth. Some people, that works. Other people, it doesn't. When I got into boxing, I noticed I had a hard time breathing in my nose first. When I went to the doctor, I thought I had deviated septum. No deviated septum to be found. But it was extremely hard to breathe that way. So what did I decide to do? I decided to breathe the other way, where I go big inhale in the lungs through the mouth, press it out all the way through the nose. When I started doing that, my performance in fighting, my performance in lifting weights, my performance on the track increased, and I was looking like a better fighter. I was looking like a better athlete, and it was just by reversing my breath. So understand this as well. You're going to, as a trainer, encounter a lot of people that have a lot of misfortunes or a lot of problems. You have to expand their mind and let them know that life isn't just one way. Just because you've been taught forever to go in the nose, out the mouth, doesn't mean you can't go in the mouth, out the nose. So play with it at all times. Your client's performance is the most important thing, and if you could guide them to maximize their performance, they will love you for life, and you'll be just fine. Don't take it lightly. Breathing and form are important. They go together. As you're cueing form, you should be cueing breathing. As you're cueing breathing, you should be cueing form. These two areas are going to save you as a client as long as you're on top of it. in the 11 years of me training, to this day, with every single client, when I see them holding their breath, I make sure I remind them to breathe. What they say to me is, oh shit, I didn't realize I was holding my breath. That's what you're for. That's what you're there for. You are the professional. You're the one supposed to be catching these things. So make sure at all fucking times you are catching it, reiterating it, and making sure your clients do not get hurt and they get what they want when it comes to looking physically the way they want, when it comes to feeling great. Breathing also makes you feel good too. If you hold your breath, you get lightheaded, you don't want that feeling, people might not want to come back to you. But when they're breathing and they feel great and they feel empowered, oh, you're giving them something that they never even felt before. So take breathing and take reiterating how to breathe properly extremely important. If you need more examples, books, YouTube, search engines, educate yourself. Don't feel like you have to take a breathing course. Don't feel like you have to waste money in these things because they're all just money grabs where these organizations make you feel like you need them, but you really don't. If you put in the hard work by going and finding the right books, going and finding the right YouTube clips, going and finding the right articles on your search engines, you will get all the information that you need. With that being said, that's the end of chapter 5. Go back, listen to this again. Make sure it gets implanted in your brain and you're big on teaching people how to breathe. I'm out. Peace.